Hi everyone, my name's Jason.
I'm Caden.
And we are the Yahuwah and the Torah channel, and we thank you guys very, very much for being a part of our little family. We thank you for hanging out with us. We are the family who is out in the middle of the jungle, out in the middle of somewhere in South America, and we are very thankful that you guys will join us, and we're thankful to those of you out there who are my brothers and my sisters, and we are told one way how to qualify them. Our Messiah Yahushua, Jesus the Christ, said, those who keep the commandments of our Creator are those who are my brothers and sisters. And so this is the people that we are. We believe that the laws, statutes, and commandments are for all generations, for all times, for all creeds, for all races, for everybody. And if you will keep the laws, statutes, and commandments that are found in Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy, you will be blessed. You will be given a chance in the kingdom to come. We will be just be blessed. It's a very, very good road to walk. And Cade, how you doing?
Good.
How's everything?
Good.
Tell me a little bit about our Torah walk. Tell us a little bit about when do we get into it? A little bit about what today is. Today's a preparation day, and just a bit about us.
We went to Torah 11 years ago now. It's been 11 years of Torah keeping, something close to that. And it was a very interesting walk. It was a very different walk, because when you read your Bible, you find it's very different from what you've been taught. It's very different from what you know. And then you start reading and you start changing things, and you get funny looks from the people you know. When you start telling people the things that you're learning, the things that you are finding, you become odd. You become
Set apart.
People look at you different. They're like, no, that's not right. That you're going against what we've been taught all our lives, and that's what indoctrination is.
Yeah, and do you remember back in the day? I think it was back in Doug's house, an old house we had. Do you remember when it was when we actually like clicked that button that all of a sudden we were like, whoa, we were doing something completely wrong? You remember whose videos it was we were watching?
No, I don't.
It was this. His name was Chris, and I can't remember. Truth Unveiled. Yeah, 777. Chris from Truth Unveiled 777, who basically got kicked off YouTube, got kicked off the internet. He had a tremendous amount of good videos out there. That's my dog Hannah. Sorry about that. And it sometimes takes videos just like that. It takes sometimes you're out and about, walking around, and all of a sudden you see something. And if you're able to deal with your indoctrination, if you're able to deal with what beliefs you have been ingrained into, and you can actually see and you care enough about what Scripture says, it is very clear in Scriptures that the laws, statutes, and commandments are good forever. In fact, a couple times in the book of Revelation, it talks about the only people that are saved are those who are keeping the laws, statutes, and commands of our Creator and have the faith of Messiah Yahushua, Jesus the Christ. So that is the road that we are on, and that is the road we are hoping that you guys will travel and cruise to, that we can see you guys one day as family, as brothers and sisters in the kingdom to come. Guys, this is Yah Scriptures right here. This is a book that is available in June. $70, the greatest English translation you will ever see, 103 books. It's a 14.5 font. So those of us with bad vision or blurry vision, you just can't see regular text, this is a good thing. We are here and we are able to see it. So for every one of these scriptures, guys, we are able to get one full scriptures into our brothers and sisters in chains. Let me pause this while my dog is sitting here drinking water like a savage. All right. So that was Hannah, our dog. She is a savage when it comes to drinking water. Very, very loud. So sorry about that. Okay, guys, Yah Scriptures, you don't need to purchase them. This is the thing about Yah Scriptures. It has always been free. From the beginning of time when we had this, we've been releasing this PDF. We have never had anything that was sold up until later. And when we put this for sale, it is 100% proceeds go straight to prisoners in chains. And so this is a tremendous value. But these versions are all free. If you have eSword, if you just want this on your tablet, your computer, or whatever it is, the PDFs are all right there. These PDFs are all loaded up. They're amazing PDFs because inside of it you have different kinds of bookmarks that take you to all the books. It takes you clear around. There's been a tremendous amount of work that's done on these PDFs, and they are a gift to the people from our Creator, and His Word should always be free. And so enjoy that there. If anybody wants the short stories, they are on Amazon. All the links are below in the description below. We're going to be getting the rest of the Apocrypha up here at some point. And so right now, these are all available on Amazon. And again, all proceeds go to our brothers and sisters in chains. And that's what our hopes and dreams are. Okay, Kate, we are here. First MELAKIM, 1 Kings chapter 10. Let me tell you what the boys tell me every single day, and it's the same thing over and over. David died. He left some people to, he sent Solomon, it's a kill list, and at the end he killed them, and now Solomon's reigning, and he's starting to do bad things. Can you give me a bit of a more recap? A quick one from the days of Moshe. From the days of Moshe, we hit Joshua. How did we get to where we are at right now?
Well, we had Moses and his people. We had all the Israelites. They made it into the promised land. They had Joshua, and he reigned over them and kept them well. But then they went astray in Judges. Once the governing authority died that they had, they all decided they were going to serve our Elohim, get kicked out, go in exile. And that's the entirety of Judges, and they just continue to do great evil throughout there. And then we get to Samuel, and they want a king. They want give us a king, and Yah's like, all right, you'll have a king, but here's the thing: he's going to rule over you. He's going to take everything you have. And at that time, we just want a king. So you get Saul, but Saul ends up so great. He was great at the start, had not so great ending. So David was put into place. David was put over to be the king.
Hold on. All right, guys. Sorry for the distractions. I hope Cubs can gain his thoughts. All right.
As we had David, he was the best king Israel ever saw. He followed Yah after his own heart, but he got old, as we all do, and he died. And he passed off to his son. He told his son to stay in the way of Yah, stay strong, and Solomon immediately just doesn't do any of that. He immediately goes and slaughters the high places. He immediately does these terrible things, gets all these wives, marries outside of the tribes as he's told not to do, and he did do a few good things. He built a temple for Yah where he can sacrifice.
Yep.
He built a house for Yah, but he built his own house.
Yeah,
a really big house.
A huge house. And is there anything wrong with building your own big house?
No, probably not.
Probably not. He's a king. He had all this stuff. So.
No, it's never but I mean, it's just excessive. The king was told not to live excessively.
Right. All right. So hang tight. Okay. So here we go again. A ton of distractions this morning. We don't mean for that to happen, folks. Speaking of that, one more. Okay. The morning distractions. Here we go, guys. 1 Kings 10. And the sovereigness of Sheba heard of the report of Shalomah concerning the name of Yahuwah and came to try him with hard questions. And she came to Jerusalem with a very great company, with camels that bore spices, very much gold and precious stones. And she came to Shalom and she spoke with him about all that was in her heart. Sorry, guys. I have no other way to stop this. And Shalomah answered all her questions. There was no matter hidden from the sovereign that he did not make known to her. And the sovereigness of Sheba saw all the wisdom of Shalomah and the house that he had built, and the food on his table, and the seating of his servants, and the service of his waiters, and their attire, and his cupbearers, and their burnt offerings, which he offered in the house of Yahuwah. And there was no more spirit in her.
You think they ran around in tuxedos?
Yeah. Well, that's the thing is they were. This is obviously high end for whatever their time. Call it tuxedos or call it like whatever. It is something fancy because. This queen is there's a lot to be had here with this queen. I'll tell you guys something that most don't know, and I don't even know if I know it, but I will explain to you what I think I know. Okay, starting here in this, it sounded like it was huge, right, Kate?
Yeah.
Everything there was just completely.
There was just so much. She saw so much. She basically became overwhelmed with everything.
Yeah, it's like so much gold, so much immaculate stuff. Okay, 6. Then she said to the sovereign, the word I heard in my own land about your words and your wisdom was true. But I did not believe the words until I came and saw with my own eyes. And see, I have not been told the half. Your wisdom and prosperity exceed the report which I heard. Baruch are your men, and Baruch are your servants, who stand continually before you, who are hearing your wisdom. Baruch be Yahuwah your Elohim, who delighted in you to put you on the throne of Yisrael, because Yahuwah has loved Yisrael forever. Therefore he made you sovereign to do right ruling and righteousness. And she gave the sovereign 120 kickers of gold, and very many spices and precious stones. Never again did so many spices come as the sovereigness of Sheba gave to sovereign Shalomah. Okay, now this is, I guess, the end of not quite the end of Sheba, but here's something, there's something that's very much speculative, is that, and you don't hear this in scriptures, is that again, don't throw stones at me, but this is what people think, is that Solomon impregnated the queen of Sheba because her son, the son of Sheba, came back and he was like one of the most wise rulers over in a whole nother area, somewhere totally out of there. And so they believe that she went back with the son of Solomon in her, which, knowing Solomon, she's all sitting there wooed out with this dude, like, oh, look at all this stuff. You're just so smart. You're so wise. How about a kid, right? Something like that. And so that is what people believe, is that there's a famous ruler that was right after her time, her son, that came, and they believe it came from Shlomo. Okay. Anything else? There you go.
Interesting.
True or false? What do you take? Fact or fiction?
Did it come from Josephus or something?
No, that didn't come from Josephus. That came from some YouTube stuff I was watching, so it could totally be false. But it does make a lot of sense. You know, if she was just some really gorgeous woman, you know, Solomon's not going to let that one go without adding her to his little stable, because he has a tremendous amount of, like, hundreds of women. Okay, and I don't mean that in any disrespect. The dude had a lot of women. Let's see. Where are we at? 11, right? And also the ships of Kiram, which brought gold from Ophir, brought almug wood, a great many, and precious stones of Ophir. And the sovereign made steps of the almug wood for the house of Yahuwah and for the sovereign's house. Also lyres and harps for singers. No such almug wood had come or been seen to this day. I don't even know what almug wood was, but it must have been amazing. And I guess I guess the trees
you can make stairs and like instruments with. So.
Trees gone, man. They must have poached every tree they had back in the day or something, because they said it hasn't been seen again. I don't know. Okay, 13. And sovereign Shlomo gave the sovereigness of Sheba all she desired, whatever she asked, besides what he gave her according to the hand of sovereign Shlomo. And she turned and went to her land and her servants. And the weight of gold that came to Shlomo yearly was 666 kickers of gold. Besides that, from the men of travel and the profit from traders, and from all the sovereigns of Arabia, and from all the governors of the land. Now,
what's up with this 666?
Yeah, that's the thing. With Solomon is more likely a Freemason. He was probably in what they would have as the early Freemason back in the days of Nimrod. I mean, there was even such a thing as kind of the Freemasons. He's all into sorts of stuff. And, you know, when he named his pillars Boaz and I think Jason or something, those are the same pillars that you look at in Freemasonry today. And there's something's up with Shlomo, right? And according again to the book of Josephus, this guy was good at incantations, spell casting, driving demons out so the demons couldn't come back into people. And Josephus was giddy about this. Like, this was a wonderful thing. Their king actually knew all this witchcraft incantation stuff. And so, you know, anyway, but Josephus does go on to say he was an evil man. But in his early days, he was definitely praising things of that nature. And, you know, that's things that we've been told not to dabble with or be around. Okay, 16. And sovereign Shlomo made 200 large shields of beaten gold. 600 pieces of gold went into each shield. And 300 shields of beaten gold. 3 minas of gold went into each shield. And the sovereign put them in the house of the forest of Lebanon. And the sovereign made a great throne of ivory and overlaid it with refined gold. The throne had 6 steps, and the top of the stone was round at the back, and there were armrests on either side of the place of the seat, and 2 lions stood beside the armrests. I'm thinking they were like 2 giant lions. I'm not thinking they're like little pygmy lions or something sitting on his arm. I'm thinking this dude had like 2 large lions sitting on his sides. And 12 lions were standing there, one on each side of the 6 steps. The like of it was never made in any reign. And so, yeah, there's
Solomon's just going crazy with everything.
Solomon's crazy, yeah, and that's a crazy thing. Is gold is to us like pennies and stuff. Everybody had gold. That's what everybody lived on, and it was vast. Okay, and all the drinking vessels of sovereign Shlomo were of gold, and all the vessels of the house of the forest of Lebanon were of refined gold, not of silver, for this was reckoned of little value in the days of Shlomo. For the sovereign had ships of Tarshish at sea with the fleet of Kiram. Once every 3 years, the ships of Tarshish came bringing gold and silver, ivory, and apes and baboons. Okay, what are they doing with the apes and baboons? Are they making a zoo?
Yeah.
You think they're making zoos for him?
There's probably some sort of entertainment for us.
I mean, you're not going to have an ape or baboon go plow your field or anything. It's not going to be happening. So obviously, I mean, it's just becoming a very rich kingdom, right?
So almost living a very luxurious life right now.
Yeah, he apes and baboons.
Yeah,
I mean,
monkeys and stuff around.
Did he request the baboons, or did they just bring the baboons in because?
I have no.
And how do they deal with these things, man? I mean, we know that they have monkey trainers and baboon trainers, things like that. But I mean, these things are you grab these things out of the wild and they will mess you up. Apes have the strength to like rip a man in half, completely in half. They're very, very strong. So hopefully Shaloma brought the zookeepers with him as well.
Yeah. Okay,
23. And sovereign Shaloma was greater than any of the sovereigns of the earth in riches and wisdom. Okay, is that a true statement? I mean, this dude, for this guy being as wise as he did, he could not keep to the laws, statutes, and commandments of our Creator. And of course, when you are offered every woman in the world, I guess that's the trap, right? Or something of the sort, because it was the women that he was with that brought him into the other worshiping of Elohim.
I think greatest. I think they mean like in those days, like he was greater than any other sovereign, which means he's like has more assets and more more things.
But as far as wisdom goes, this guy, sovereign Solomon, is the reason that many people died. Years and years and years of people into captivity on both sides, Northern Kingdom, Southern Kingdom. I mean, it all got split because of the evil of Solomon. And so his wisdom, I would have to say, yeah, he might be pretty smart, but at the end of the day, he became a big dum-dum. So 24, and all the earth sought the presence of Shalom to hear his wisdom, which Elohim had put in his heart. And they were each bringing his present, objects of silver and objects of gold and garments and armor and spices, horses and mules, a rate year by year. And Shalom gathered chariots and horsemen, and he had 1,400 chariots and 12,000 horsemen, whom he stationed in chariot cities in the sovereign in Jerusalem, and with the sovereign in Jerusalem. Okay, this dude had a boatload of horses. So he had 1,400 chariots, so 1,400 chariots. Then he had 12,000 horsemen, and you would probably think that there's probably at least 13,000 horses, because maybe not all horses are ridden all the time. So you would think they'd have maybe a few more horses than riders, but that's a lot of people. Okay, 27, that's the army. That's essentially the army. And the sovereign made silver as common in Jerusalem as stones, and he made cedars as plenty as sycamores, which are in the low country. And Shalom had horses brought out of Mitzrayim and Keua. The sovereign's merchants brought them Keua at a price. And a chariot came up and went out from Mitzrayim for 600 pieces of silver, and a horse 150. And so by their hand they brought them out to all the sovereigns of the Kittites, and the sovereigns of Aram. All right, so that is it, everyone. I think that takes us to that. Today is a preparation day. Here, let's do a two-man drum roll. You ready? Preparation day. Okay, which means tomorrow's a Shabbat. Yeah. All right, the best we have for a two-man band. Tomorrow's Shabbat, guys. Sunset today is what we believe the Hebrew day is to be. We base that upon Genesis 1, when evening and morning were the first day. And that is what our Creator says. And so, guys, at sunset today is when the Shabbat begins, and it will go until tomorrow at sunset. And we are not to work. We're not to do anything. We're not even supposed to travel. We're supposed to just hang with our family. We're supposed to hang with Yah. We're supposed to rest. Rest. Our Creator has given us a day of rest. So with that, everybody, we hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you for all. We're out. Much love.
All right. Shalom.